Weißt du, nicht jeder Wort dein Talent sein können, aber das heißt nicht, dass du keins besitzt. Don't give up at halftime. Concentrate on winning the second half. Anything not worth doing is worth not doing well. Think about it. Nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. Don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great. Ideen mij vivojum zibelgenja so teast, ki si jai postavis sam. It's as simple as that. Simple and complicated, as most true things are. You know, I think that only if one feels immensely important can one feel truly light. Success comes from the inside out. In order to change what is on the outside, you must first change what is on the inside. If life gives you any trouble, punch it in the face. Leaders are limited by their vision rather than by their abilities. You cannot score a goal when you are sitting on the bench. To do so, you have to dress up and enter the game. If everything was perfect, you would never learn and you would never grow. Don't carry your mistakes around with you. Place them on the floor and use them as stepping stones to where you want to go. Don't be afraid to challenge the pros, even in their own backyard. I hear my silence talked of in every lane. The suppression of a cry is itself a cry of pain. Happiness is a mysterious thing, to be found somewhere between too little and too much. Time bows to authentic commitment, and it stretches to accommodate it. Celebrate true friends. They're a part of you that always sparkles. There is no truth on this island of yours. Rather, there are as many truths as there are stars in the sky, and every one of them different. If those at your top are weak, your bottom will be rotten. There are ships sailing to many ports, but not a single one goes where life is not painful. Truth is neither in the scripture nor in the words of prophets. It is in your heart, feel it, discover it, and expand with it. Nothing makes a person happier than having a happy heart. Feeling beautiful has nothing to do with what you look like, I promise. Things will change. You won't feel this way forever. And anyway, sometimes the hardest lessons to learn are the ones your soul needs most. We either make ourselves miserable or we make ourselves strong. The amount of work is the same. If you can't impress them with your argument, impress them with your actions. Success will be within your reach only when you start reaching out for it. Saya adalah produk gagal yang sedang dalam proses pinduran along. Smiley face. People resist a census, but give them a profile page, and they'll spend all day telling you who they are. Sometimes problems don't require a solution to solve them. Instead, they require maturity to outgrow them. That's what fiction is for. It's for getting at the truth when the truth isn't sufficient for the truth. The more we value things, the less we value ourselves. Pagangtang Ganku, Tapi Jangon Turlila Erat, Karina Aku Injin Siring Dan Bukan Didgering. Science, my boy, is made up of mistakes, but they are mistakes which it is useful to make, because they lead little by little to the truth. No amount of regretting can change the past, and no amount of worrying can change the future. Three things cannot hide for long: the moon, the sun, and the truth. When you take control of your attitude, you take control of your life. You don't chase darkness out of the room with a knife or a broom. Instead, you turn on the light. The world changes. We do not. Therein lies the irony that kills us. Once you reject fear, you will become the perfect candidate to receive and reflect truth. To shine your brightest light is to be who you truly are. In matters of style, swim with the current. In matters of principle, stand like a rock. If you care about something enough, you'll find a way to make it happen. Truth is that which makes a people certain, clear, and strong. Be the kind of person who dares to face life's challenges and overcome them rather than dodging them. We all have two lives. The second one starts when we realize that we only have one. The goal of education is to enable individuals to continue their education. The one who falls and gets up is stronger than the one who never tried. Do not fear failure, but rather fear not trying. What a waste my life would be without all the beautiful mistakes I've made. He had a look of composed dissatisfaction, as if he understood life thoroughly. In the high country of the mind, one has to become adjusted to the thinner air of uncertainty. To become a master at any skill, it takes the total effort of your heart, mind, and soul working together in tandem. Give me the facts and I will determine my own truths. We live for our time, we do the deeds that change our world today. We are the people of the present, and now is what we say. It was not the feeling of completeness I so needed, but the feeling of not being empty. I can't really act the way I want to act or say what I want to say all the time. And a lot of times, I cover that up with a smile. I want to dream a dream so wonderful that I'll wake up sorry that it wasn't a memory. To have what you have never had, you have to do what you have never done. Alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much. It is more important to be of pure intention than of perfect action. Having nothing to struggle against, thee have nothing to struggle for. He spoke again as if he hadn't just shattered his promise and her security. Her house of glass now lay in a pile of shards. Meditation is a way for nourishing and blossoming the divinity within you. A celibate clergy is an especially good idea because it tends to suppress any hereditary propensity toward fanaticism. This thought strengthened in me my belief that all men, without exception, deserve to be pitied, if only because they are alive. The single best thing about coming out of the closet is that nobody can insult you by telling you what you've just told them. The greatest thing in the world is to know how to belong to oneself. I want to paint the rest of my days with the best colors. I think I've discovered the secret of life. You just hang around until you get used to it. The quest for meaning is the key to mental health and human flourishing. Life is going to give you just what you put in it. Put your whole heart in everything you do and pray, then you can wait. When you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person who walked in. That's what this storm's all about. I am still in the land of the dying. I shall be in the land of the living soon. Understanding is but the sum of our misunderstandings. Just between us, that's my way of comprehending the world. In a nutshell, positive anything is better than negative nothing. The truth doesn't mind being told every once in a while. Truth is stranger than fiction, but it is because fiction is obliged to stick to possibilities. Truth isn't. Kamampuan membeka itu sebuah rumah. Kajmaran membeka sebuah kebahagiaan. You always know the truth, because when you cut yourself or someone else with it, there's always a bloody show. When you have an understanding of how things work, you will know better how to work things out. Si no usaba esta vida, entonces la estaba desperdiciando. When people see some things as beautiful, other things become ugly. When people see some things as good, other things become bad. A lie can run round the world before the truth has got its boots on. Once you have read a book you care about, some part of it is always with you. Never be bullied into silence. Never allow yourself to be made a victim. Accept no one's definition of your life, but define yourself. You may be disappointed if you fail, but you are doomed if you don't try. And there are really never endings, happy or otherwise. Life, it's not just about watching the stars. It's about shining with them. Only something extremely dire and disabling will ever stop a real writer from writing. Retirement is never an option. Life is not about perfection. It's about persistence. To know you are ignorant is the beginning of wisdom. There are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. It's better not to know authors personally, because the real person never corresponds to the image you form of him from reading his books. In life, there are two things which are dependable: the pleasures of the flesh and the pleasures of literature. If my answers frighten you, then you should cease asking scary questions. Real life is messy, inconsistent, and it's seldom when anything ever really gets resolved. It's taken me a long time to realize that. I am nothing more than the consequence of catastrophe. Never let your sense of morals prevent you from doing what is right.